Hey, what's going on, world? You already know it's your boy ESB, and I'd like to welcome you back to another episode of Learning with Sauce. As always, I hope you're doing what you got to do to get to where you got to be. Today's conversation, we're going to apply a little bit more pressure to the talks that we've been having. And as you can see, today's topic of conversation is about the importance of changing your perspective on life. When it comes to how our brain works and our ability to use our imagination to create the life that we want, some of us stand in our own way. We let our distractions mean more than our purpose, which makes us incapable of dreaming big. It is my job to wipe the crow from your eyes and expose you to the ultimate cheat code to life. I'm not going to sell you a dream and say it's going to be easy, but I will share with you this one gem that will help you see life from an elevated perspective. So, by definition, our perspective of the world is how we perceive the world around us. It's also a direct reflection of how we view the world. Learning the ability to change our perspective is often the difference maker in our journey. The cheat code to having unwavering faith in our dream, the confidence to pursuing our vision relentlessly, and practicing the patience required to accomplish said dream all lies in the angle of your perspective. If you see your journey from a low perspective of doubt, you will psych yourself out because of the time it would take to complete said mission. If you look at it from eye level, you will see every obstacle that is in your path, which will stop you from even trying. But if you look at it from an elevated perspective, you will see that after all the obstacles and life lessons, the end goal is always there. Think about it for a second. To my older crew, y'all probably know I don't know too much about the younger generation. But if you look at the Super Mario Brothers game, before you started the level, you always got an elevated perspective of the map. You saw the journey that you had to take, and you saw the certain amount of levels before you got to the boss fight. You will also notice that the difficulty of the map increases, but because the difficulty is increasing, you know that the boss fight is getting closer. The journey to success works the same exact way. The journey to reach the goal is unchangeable. You have to run the course as efficiently as possible to make it to the winner takes all level. As Dr. Wayne Dyer put it, when we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. Perspective is important because it shapes our mindsets and ultimately dictates the decisions that we make. It's also the determining factor in whether or not we achieve our goals. Where one sees lack, one sees abundance. Where one sees loss, another sees lessons. Where one lacks faith, another chooses gratitude. So, in other words, our perspective can either help us or it can hinder us. Growing up is realizing that in order for you to reach your goals, it's going to require a different way of thinking. It's going to take a different level of action and a different level of being. Old tricks don't open new doors, and this elevated thought process, along with the willingness to be taught more, will unlock a different level of work ethic required to get us to where we want to be. I'm confident in this because in order for me to have the success that I'm having this year, I had to change my perspective. I had to unlearn old thought processes to make space for the upgrades. In order to truly see adversity from a different angle, you must separate yourself from your old ways of thinking. By doing this, you are releasing what is holding you back, which will result in your elevation. Removing certain people, places, habits, conversations, and actions from your life will be uncomfortable, but it will put you in alignment with growth. Growth is never easy, especially when you've been conditioned to only think one way and every other way is abomination of self. You may not be chasing material wealth. You may want a healthier relationship with yourself. You may want to heal from past traumas and be able to enjoy your life again. This shift comes from separation. Holding on to the past serves you no benefit. I've said this in the podcast before. Holding on to the past serves you no benefit. It only robs you from the current moment. The only thing that ever exists is this moment that we're living right now. Separating yourself from what's already separating yourself from what's already happened is lightening the load that you carry, which will lead to your elevation. When we can separate from the things that are holding us back, we are clearing up space for new life experiences. Releasing things, people, places, experiences that no longer serve us is single handedly the greatest thing we can do for ourselves. By making new room to grow, it gives us an opportunity to embrace new ways of thinking, find alternate solutions to our problems, or simply teach us to prioritize ourselves. Letting go is never easy, but my friend, it's time. As much as I could convince you that this is what you need to do to break free, the only person that can truly make that decision is you. Changing the way you view the world is an inside job. If your life isn't the way you want it, the only person that can change that is you. When you get in alignment with the things that you want, the doors that you thought were closed will open. That's one of the dangers of external validation. Because when you let your happiness hang in the balance with somebody else, you're surrendering your power to them. Unless you want to live an unhappy life and continue to lie to yourself, then that's cool. But I'm sure since you've made it this far in the conversation, you're already ready to start living for yourself by accomplishing the goals to take care of your family. Because listen, man, hard work is hard work. There's no way around it. Believing in yourself, believing in your plan, believing in your vision, and etc. is an inside job. I've mentioned this before, but adversity in your journey isn't there to remind you of how weak you are, but it's there to remind you of how strong you are. If you can change your perspective from the victim mentality to the victorious mentality, you will see things completely differently. Here's the truth. Here's the truth. This is something that I had to learn the hard way. One of the 12 universal laws states, nothing is given for free. Everything comes at a cost. In this context, the cost of admission to step into your purpose is giving up your old life, your old habits, and your old thought processes and learning new ones. You owe it to yourself to make the most out of your human experience. Nobody is coming to save you. The only person that is capable of such task is the person that you see in the mirror. On this journey of life, sometimes we need an alternate perspective to see what life could look like when we decide to lock in. Here's another truth. The reason why you feel so connected to certain goals is because in the future you've already achieved them and you're on the path to obtaining them. And this quote by Mel Robbins sums it up perfectly. I believe that your dreams are a directional signal that the dream is out there in a different chapter of your life, calling you from this moment towards that direction. The ultimate goal of changing your perspectives isn't just what we can gain from a material aspect. It's about setting yourself free and giving yourself the permission to set out on a journey to achieve your life mission. There are four main benefits of changing your perspective that relates to your personal growth, your ability to create new solutions, allows you to end self-sabotage by expanding your thinking, and increased empathy during adversity. When you have the flexibility to change your perspectives, you are able to adapt to adversity faster and find the underlying meaning. It doesn't matter what you attempted to accomplish in your lifetime. Your personal growth is ever growing and is a reflection of your maturity. We weren't sent here to work the same day, to live the same day for 80 years and call that a life. Every day should be a learning experience where we learn something new about ourselves or our mission. Changing perspective also helps you to find alternate routes to solutions. Sometimes life requires thinking outside of the box. The elevated your perspective, the more you're willing to experiment. When you're able to unlock new insights, you improve your decision making and changes the tone of your inner dialogue. One of my favorite books is The Celestine Prophecy, and it's very similar to the conversation we're having right now. Because life can be a journey, and you'll be surprised how it's all connected. Changing your inner dialogue will help you connect the dots. It also helps you have a positive emotional response when face to face with adversity. Sometimes bad things happen and it's no fault to anybody. It's not what happened to you that shapes you. It's how you respond to it. Learning to shift your perspective in the midst of a storm is the ultimate life hack. As I've said, negative thoughts don't yield positive results. If you want to be positive, if you want positive, then you have to think positive. Learning to be easier on yourself is the best thing that you can do for your mental health. So, as we get closer to the end, man, as the opening quote states, it's time that we change the way we look at things so the things we look at change. If you want new experiences, stop telling yourself that you can't and start proving to yourself that you can. Everybody won't make that journey with you. It's just honestly facts, bro. I care about you and I want you to understand this because I had a problem with that too. I wanted to bring everybody to the top with me, and unfortunately, everybody can't go. Old tricks don't open new doors. So remember, separation equals elevation equals growth. And finally, lastly, the whole moral of the conversation is whether you get to your goals or you don't get to your goals is 100% up to you. It is time, my friend. You've made it this far in the conversation, and I appreciate that. I'm talking to you right now because I know you needed this conversation. It is time to choose you. It is time to elevate your perspective. Because I understand, man, times is hard. I understand that, man. If I had time to go through my whole story, you will understand why I feel so confident about this. Because through all that I've been through over the last couple of years, I've had to learn to, one, continue to walk on faith. Two, block out the distractions. Three, change my perspective. Once I changed my perspective on what I could achieve in this lifetime, I've exceeded that. I've exceeded that. My first book, Here's the Truth, sold 3 copies. I could have stopped, but I changed my perspective. You Deserve Better came out. I sold 10 copies. Okay, now I'm getting good at it. Now I'm getting in the swing of it. Book number 3 is here, man. The Power of Belief is out right now. You can check it out on saucebradybooks.com. Man, the places that I'm going with this book is insane. And I've always thought about it in here. But to actually believe that perspective and actually put the work in to feed that route, man, it's been incredible. And I know you ready to reach that point in your life. I know you're at the crossroad right now where you don't know if you want to keep going or if you want to stop. My friend, do not stop, man. If you're around people that's telling you to give up, if you're around people that's telling you that all your wins don't need announcements, you need to get away from them ASAP, bro. It's time you change your perspective, man. You'll see as you get in your journey that everybody that's around you, they don't really want you to win for real. A lot of people do, but it's a good majority that remember who you used to be, and they have a hard time accepting who you are right now. So this is your message right now, man. Separation equals elevation equals growth. As always, man, I appreciate y'all tapping in with your boy. I appreciate y'all spending some time allowing me to be a beacon of encouragement on your journey. I hope something was said that inspired you to have an elevated perspective, to change your perspective on your life, man, because I promise you, life is good, man. If you can change the way you look at things, man, the things you look at change. And it all starts in here. You got to change the conversation that you have with yourself. You got to change the perspective of how you view yourself. Because if you tell yourself that you're limited from all these opportunities, then the limitations you're going to see. But if you see the abundance of life, then you'll be able to reap that abundance in life as well. And like I said, not only material, you'll also have that inner peace. You'll also have that, that confidence, that determination, that dedication, everything that you're looking for. It all starts in the change of perspective. So I appreciate y'all tuning in with your boy. Make sure you check out saucebradybooks.com. Make sure you check out the spot, the Sauce Factory. Go grab you some merch to support the campaign. I got a couple book signings coming up that's out of state. I'm finna be going to Florida. I'll let y'all know where at in the next couple of episodes, but it's pretty up for your boy right now. I'm looking forward to making more connections. Hopefully meeting some of y'all if y'all watching this video right now. I'll let y'all know where I'm going so y'all can come pull up. And as always, man, get lifted, stay inspired. Y'all have a great day. It's your boy. Peace.